it seems to me like your journey has kind of been written before it could even, become realities, because not only did you come up in an area where basketball is so prevalent, but you played for like arguably the best high school coach of all time in the area, Coach Morgan Wooten. I definitely just wanted to ask, um, how did you prepare yourself going into Duke, or even just going into coaching, being under his guidance? Is because I've heard so many stories about him growing up and being around the older folks here, and I would love to hear coming from you.
Yeah, it was humbling. It was rather humbling. Coach Wooten in the Washington, D.C. area, and even in the basketball community, was bigger than life. He's a guy that right now the high school basketball player of the year award is named after him. Like, what an honor. So he was a guy, man, that he just passed in the last probably 7 months or so. And but he was someone for me that was, going to Dematha. I grew up in D.C. Dematha's in Hyattsville, Maryland, so I had to take 2 buses and a subway to get there every day until I started driving. It was. I say that because I'm coming from inner city D.C. and I was a little rough around the edges, and I needed that extra, I think, support and guidance to help me get up to speed where I needed to get. And that was, socially, that was academically, and he was always as patient and as loving as could be. You would take probably your grandfather, man, and make him like the best basketball coach on the planet, right? And that's who Coach Wooten was. He always had words of wisdom, never swore, never cursed, sarcastic as heck. Sarcastic as heck. He would be like, he'd be like, Kenny, you got 1 rebound at halftime. Great job, buddy. Or you got 1 more rebound than a dead man. He had these one-liners, man, that really, he had a way of delivering them, but a way where they stung you because you didn't want to disappoint him. But he made his point clear. And, having a chance to really play for him, he was a fundamentally sound coach. I think for a period of time, over like a 40-year period, every young man that played for him got a college scholarship. Like,
yeah,
whoa, that is the type of guy that he was. And so it's just very humbling to say that I had a chance to sit in his classroom for 3 years as a varsity player. And I appreciate you bringing that up because it allows me an opportunity to kind of, let people know, more about Coach Wooten that maybe don't know about him, and a chance to really discuss him. So thank you.
Oh, no problem. Ever since I moved to this area, that's the one name that stuck out to me the most. My grandfather played basketball here, went and played college basketball. My uncle and my father, they played basketball here, and they used to tell me that they would grow up watching the Morgan Wooten show. Yeah. And they would pick up 1 or 2 moves that he would put on weekly, and they would go to the gym or the court to practice it. So, I've always heard these stories, and, a lot of my younger siblings, we've heard these stories, but we've never actually been able to hear them from somebody that played under his system. So it's just a humbling experience just to hear it coming from a direct source. Like, this is dope.
Taylor, I used to record the Morgan Wooten show.
Whoa.
I would record it. Even before I was at Dematha, I would record it, and I would take the fundamental of the lesson of the day, like you said, and practice it. That was my personal trainer.